With our Colt M16 Retro Madness, I've located another piece. Now, we had a video on a extremely cheap bayonet that I got, but this I found on eBay, and this is the bipod, and I guess the original thing on there. Now, when you go on eBay or any of these places, you're finding a lot of this original equipment. I got this, I paid with shipping, sales tax, 78 units. I just went to double check that before I made this video, and there is something just like this, but it has more of the kit with it, and we'll go over that in a minute. And they want 210, and then I found one that's rusted and pitted. They wanted 120 for it, so I figured I got a deal. And there's a reason that I bought this also, and I'll go over that. So first off, I've seen it. I think I remember seeing these. You got to remember, back in the 70s and 80s, this surplus stuff was all over the place, and I don't know what it went for, and I never really got it. But here's the designation written on the back. That's still there. Okay. I'm going to pause a bit so all you aficionados can get that. And hopefully you can see it. Yeah, you can. And then, tell me that. So what this is the bipods that were issued for the rifle. You had to carry them in something, and this was this little canvas pouch. Now, another thing, the early guns don't have trap doors, but we'll get into that later. So this, you had your clothespin. They called it a clothespin bipod. And this one isn't in terrible shape. Okay. I mean, I've seen some that had stuff stuck to them or whatever, and we'll put this on the gun later. But the key factor is, and I put some chalk on there so you can read it, this is a Colt product. Okay? So I've seen some of them on there, had weird stuff stuck in there, bits, pieces missing, a ton of rust down up in there. This one's got some, but not terrible. But this is the original bipod. So the other thing that interested me was the canvas pouch that it comes in. And there was some dead insects that fell out when I cleaned it out. But this front part here with the zipper in it, the one that they want all the money for, I guess he has the oil bottle and brush. This is how you also stored your cleaning kit. As we all know, they didn't have the early guns did not have the trap door. So you got your bore brush there that's seen better days. Okay, your slotted tip, let me get it over, slotted tip for the cleaning rod, and a bronze brush for the bore. There should be like an oil bottle, a little tube of grease, and a brush, and several other things that come like in a standard kit packed in there too, but they're not. So I got the basic main components, even though they're not in pristine condition. And what we got on the side, there's a little bit of wear. So I think that wear up in here is from carrying. The guy actually carried, somebody carried this. Now this is what really got me interested. If you look at the length of this, the cleaning rod is in there. And the one curious thing, curious thing about this rod is I've noticed that it's a little bit, the handle part is a little bit longer. I don't know if this is unusual or whatever, but it barely, fits in there. And this is long enough to get down a 20-inch barrel. So you got your 3-piece cleaning rod in there. Now, I think the later ones are a little bit shorter. I think they're all the same length. I'm not quite sure. I'm not an expert on cleaning rods. This is just what came in there with it. And it's your standard deal. And that's how they had to carry them back in the old days, because they didn't have the trap door in the buttstock. Then that came later on, I believe towards the end of the war. And then they had the little, they come in that rubberized or plastic thing that slides into the back of the buttstock. So pretty interesting. You know, and like with most U.S. stuff, nothing's dated or anything, so there's no way to tell exactly how old it is, other than by, you know, like the numbers and that on the back end of this. But pretty cool. Kind of glad that I picked this up. And see, that goes in all the way and protrudes out to get that snap in there. So it's pretty interesting deal here. Alright, so that's the original carrier in that. Let's go throw it on a rifle and see how it looks. Okay, everything with the M16 AR-15 system, these guys designed all this stuff to be pretty simple and easy to use. And the Clothespin Bipod was one of the things. That was it. You know. And it does move. I think the early ones, they welded something to where it would be rigid and stable like this. But they found out that, you know, the soldiers needed something when they laid on the ground. You know, they could have some movement. So yeah, that was pretty neat. You had something that didn't take up a lot of room on your equipment belt. Held your cleaning gear and a bipod that, you know, would come in handy on positions and that. So, pretty cool. I'm kind of glad I ended up with an original one. I didn't need to oil that, but there we go. So, stay tuned.